Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing too good for a girl that's so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? I bought you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring, a Cadillac car, and everything. Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you?
Hi peeps, I'm Dr. Hendrickson and I'm going to be your host for the next, roughly 6 weeks. If you're watching this vid, that means that you are registered for and enrolled in either Music 100, Elements of Music, or Music 111, Music Appreciation, or Music 119, History of Rock and Roll. So welcome. I'm very excited that you've decided to take this class, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun together. So this opening segment to this vid is designed specifically just to let everybody know a little bit about how I work, because I don't change from course to course with respect to certain policies. So just to understand a couple of things, these courses are all 100% online. There is no physical component to it. We do not meet face-to-face at all. There is no virtual meeting on a regular basis, not at all. Now, having said that, that does not mean that you cannot ever meet with me. You can. We can schedule a meeting either in person, face-to-face, or virtually through Zoom if need be. And there will be ample time for you to do that if necessary, but only if you can communicate with me the need. So you're going to have to communicate with me each time you need to know something specific or you need help, things like that, for any aspect of the course. If there's any concept that you don't grasp right away or you're having trouble with and you want some additional help, absolutely send me an email. And if it gets to the point to where you really have to meet with me face-to-face or, again, a Zoom meeting, we will work that out. Speaking about communication, let's understand that the best way to communicate with me, particularly in the spring and summer months, is through email. You are always welcome to drop by my office or to call my office phone. However, be cautioned that during the summer months, I am rarely on campus. In fact, I'm almost never on campus through the months of June and July. So I will, again, meet with you if that's absolutely necessary for us to meet, but ordinarily, no, I am not on campus at all. So the best way to get in touch with me is through email, and I encourage each of you to do this if you have any issues, any questions, something that is not you're not grasping, 100% right away. Okay, so if you do email me, understand that you are going to get a response within 24 to 48 hours, with one exception. I do not respond to emails on the weekends. On the weekends, I am out of here, so I will not be answering any emails on a Saturday or on a Sunday. You won't be receiving any replies from me on the weekends. If I get your email after 5 p.m. on a Friday, you're not going to hear back a response from me until Monday or Tuesday of the following week. So just make sure you understand that's how things work with me. Okay, as I said earlier, my summer office hours are almost non-existent just because I'm not in the office at Delta. Over the months of June or July, we're quickly approaching June. So just understand, if you really need to get in touch with me, the best thing you can do is to schedule an appointment with me, especially if it has to be face-to-face. If it's a Zoom meeting, we can certainly work that out. but I encourage you to just, shoot me an email first and see if we can't solve any issues that way. Each of these courses has an online text. So there are literally two sides to the story when it comes to how online courses work with me. There's the e-learning component, and there is the online textbook component. So let's understand. On the e-learning side, you're going to have things like the course syllabus. You're going to have the course schedules, the course calendars and so forth, and other course information. That's what you're going to find on e-learning. And our discussion topics are on e-learning. So understand that the discussion topics are the only assignment component that you have on e-learning. Everything else is going to be on our online text. For example, if your course has worksheets, if your course has readings, if your course has listening or watching videos or any other type of activity, that's going to be on the text, not on e-learning. If, all of the exams, for example, all the quizzes, again, worksheets, practice worksheets, all of these things, if your course has one of those in a component, and every single one of the courses has some type of reading. So yeah, all of that is on the online text. You cannot pass this course, any of these courses, unless you purchase that online text. The registration window, by the way, for these online texts is coming up, the end of it, that is, so be ready. Be ready to get your registration in. Okay, folks, so that's pretty much it as far as the standardized stuff that goes for all of these courses. I encourage you, again, if there's anything that you need clarified, any assistance that you might need from me, I encourage you to go ahead and shoot me an email. Okay, so from this point on, the rest of this presentation is going to be geared towards your specific course. That's either Music 100 Elements of Music, or Music 111 Music Appreciation, or Music 119 History of Rock and Roll. We'll see you, folks. Okay, so hey rockers, nice to have you with me. So from this point forward, all the discussion is going to be regarding history of rock and roll exclusively. So welcome, glad you're here. Essentially, history of rock and roll is a survey of rock and roll from the American side, right? So we're going to be looking at the early history of rock, starting with its roots in jazz, and then working up through to the end to present day, I should say. And it's rock and roll in popular culture. So understand that, there's rock and roll itself, that term, can mean a lot of things, a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So just understand that when we talk about rock and roll, we're talking about it pretty much in the traditional sense, if that makes any sense to you. But it's going to be told from the viewpoint of the American history and popular culture, not from the European side or from a more world view, although there will be some of that in our discussions. So it's a survey course. We're going to be taking a survey, historically speaking, of rock and roll here in the United States. There will be some interjections from foreign countries, obviously the British invasion, things like that. So just so you understand, that's what this course is about. It's a history course, which means there's going to be a lot of reading. So required materials, you got to have that online text. You cannot complete this course without the online text, and that is the On Music Rock 3rd edition that comes from a company called Connect for Education. Now, if you've already purchased the online text, the next step would be to register it, and you actually didn't purchase a physical book. You purchased an online textbook access code, and there's instructions on how to register for that on that access code card. So I believe the majority of you have already done so that's great. If you have not, you need to get that done right away, because the registration window for that will close soon. So please take care of that right away. Okay, so again, as this is an online course, all of our assignments are going to be on that online text. All the reading, all the listening, quizzes, exams, and so forth. Those are all going to be on the online text. The only assignment component that is not on the online text, as I said in my intro, is the online discussions, okay? The discussion topics. Those are on e-learning. Likewise, there are other things to consider with respect to e-learning. You can find the course calendar on e-learning. You can find the detailed course schedule on e-learning. The detailed course schedule is going to go through each assignment and show you that these are date ranges for the completion. You have a start date and you have an end date. So understand that. The start date gives you usually between 2 weeks to, 3 weeks roughly, to complete the assignment. So understand, you have all that time to read, to go through the material and complete the assignment, whatever the assignment might be, whether it's written or listening, or even if it's a quiz of some kind. Having said that about the time frame, the date ranges for the assignments, understand this is a condensed session. This is only a 7-week session, and we've already taken up a week, right? Our first week of class. So we've only got 6 weeks left to go. So understand you've got, you do have some time, but it's not the same as it is in a full-blown 14-week semester. So we don't have the luxury of 14 weeks. We've only got half that time. We've only got 7 weeks. The reason for this, think about it. If you've taken a regular course, normally we would meet once a week for 14 weeks. We have 14 sessions, depending upon the number of credit hours that the course has and so forth. So for a 7-week condensed course, we have to double that. So if this were a physical face-to-face course, we would actually be meeting twice a week. So please understand, you've only got 6 weeks to get the rest of this stuff done. So do your best, work hard, but don't stress too much about it, because you'll find that I'm a pretty laid-back guy, and I am really somebody who grades more on participation and effort than I do on exacting, 100% accuracy and 100% on test scores. So please do the best you can, work the best that you can, and you're going to do fine. You're going to do just fine. If at any time you have any questions, if there's a concept that you don't understand or you need help with anything, the best thing you can do is email me. Just simply send me an email, shoot me an email, and I'll do my best to answer the question for you within that 24 to 48 hour period. Okay, so essentially this course is divided into 6 sections, and each section has a series of lessons. These are followed by written assignments or a quiz or an exam or all of the above. And note, again, each section has a start date and a finish date. And remember again, please, that our spring summer semesters are condensed. They're smaller, so we only have half the time that we normally do. But to give you an example of these date ranges, section 1 started on May 9th, and it will finish on May 28th. So you've got until the end of May, roughly, to finish that. So it's roughly a 2.5 week period. Not a lot of time, but it is there. Okay, so there is a lesson for each of these sections. There's a series of lessons within these sections. Lesson 1, for example, for our course is Ragtime and Popular Song and the Jazz Roots of Rock. It started on May 9th and it ends on May 28th. So the rest of those lessons are going to have a similar date range for you to follow. Okay, so a little bit of a note, the original detailed course schedule was incorrect. I did correct it, so you should be good to go there. I do not permit early submissions of work. You have to follow the schedule. This helps me, okay? I can't grade everything that's shot my way. If it's shot my way weeks in advance, there's nothing I can do. You've got to give me time, because remember, this is not the only course that I teach. You're not the only student that I have. So I have a lot of students, a lot of courses. I'm grading all of these papers, and it takes some time. So please, don't be offended if I don't get to you right away, but also don't be offended if I can't accept an early submission. Do the best you can, and you're going to do just fine. Let's talk a little bit now about the discussion topics. The discussion topics are required. They are part of your grade. You do need to participate in them. This is your opportunity to really, be a part of the class. And again, I grade on participation. I grade on effort. So your discussion topics are kind of like your attendance. So is the completion of assignments. So whenever you complete an assignment, you get counted as present in the class. Whenever you partake of a discussion topic, that's partly your attendance. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Please email me if there's anything that you do not understand. I am very approachable, except on the weekends because I'm not here. But I'm happy to help in any way I can. History of Rock is a lot of fun. Okay, there's a lot of fun components to this. I think you'll enjoy it. There's some aspects to the early rock and roll I think you're going to find are really cool. You might find them a bit strange, but I encourage you to just get into it as much as you can. I'm also going to be asking you specific questions on these discussion topics as to what do you listen to? What's the rock that you listen to? Do you listen to rock and roll at all? Do you listen to alternative music? Things like that. That's one of the things I wanted to get clear right away, is the alternative side of rock and roll is a little bit different than what we're going to be covering in this survey. Not that we're not going to be covering it, not that it isn't important, it's just that the survey we're doing is sort of the traditional side of American pop culture and rock and roll. Okay, so there'll be other vids as we go along, but again, the communication with me would be mostly through email. So if you have any issues, need any help, do not hesitate to contact me. I look forward to getting to know each of you, if only virtually. So take care, folks, and we'll see you soon.
I'm a sentimental sap, that's all. What's the use of trying not to fall? I have no will, you made your kill, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm just like an apple on a bough, and you're gonna shake me down somehow. So what's the use? You've cooked my goose, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm so hot and bothered that I don't know my elbow from my ear. I suffer something awful each time you go. It's much worse when you're near. Here am I with all my bridges burned, just a babe in arms where you're concerned. So lock the doors and call me yours.